This is reality TV that works. Startups, made in Kansas City.
My name is Marsha Martin. I'm the founder of 5B & Company Candlemakers. We started making candles in 1993 when my children were babies. I wanted to supplement our income at home. I started with my sister, and I opened my store in Weston in about 1997. When I first started, believe it or not, 1993, the internet wasn't widely available at all, and candle makers are very, very secretive. So I had to basically just trial and error, 100% trial and error. There's so many different things in candle making that affect other things, your temperature, the wax you're using, the fragrance oils you're using. And so it was just completely almost a God thing. When I needed something, it would appear, and it was definitely a journey, and that's how I knew it was my purpose. I started in my garage, and by the time it was about time for my daughter to start kindergarten, I knew that I wanted to open a storefront. And I was actually having breakfast at the cafe in Weston, Missouri, and I looked across the street, and I told my then husband, that's my building right there. And within 6 months, I was in that building with a store. It's actually the same building that Three Dog Bakery started in way back in the day. But in the process of learning and growing, I moved to a much bigger store and never felt cozy, never felt at home, never felt like it was the place I was supposed to be. So now we're back in our little store again, and I feel really good there, like that's the place for us. The way we came up with the name for 5B & Company is we started out as 2 blessings, which counts for my sister and I's children. And as we had blessings, we kept changing the name to 3 blessings, 4 blessings, 5 blessings. But when we decided to franchise, I had to trademark my name, and there was already a Blessings Candles that had been trademarked, so we changed our name to 5B & Company. I had started thinking about franchising mainly because of the building we started in, Three Dog Bakery, and I was thinking, well, how did they do that? And I talked to those guys and kind of got a little bit of the feel of how they did that. And so I started kind of just putting out there and, hey, if someone wants to franchise, send them to me, God, just send them my way.
Hi, I'm Lori Woods, and I'm the owner of 5B & Company Candlemakers in Brookside. I franchised this business in 2003 from Marsha up in Weston, and it has been great joy ever since I've done it.
And it was Apple Fest one year, probably 12 years ago, that Lori came in and she was buying candles, and she forgot to pay me.
I got my candles, I left without paying. So I remember walking down the street thinking, now wait a minute, I still have this money in my purse, what's going on? And so I went back and just flat out said, I didn't pay for my candles.
And Apple Fest is crazy in Weston. There's 10,000 people in a town of 1,500. So she forgot to pay me. She went to her car, walked all the way back to tell me, hey, I forgot to pay you. And I said, you're so honest, you should be my first franchise. And we started emailing, and the rest is history. I didn't have a big business loan. I didn't have the type of thing where I went into debt to start. I literally started my store with $1,500. I bought a big harvest table that I found at an auction, as well as another piece, and started making candles. And in hindsight, had I had an unlimited budget, had I had a ton of money, I probably would have failed in a lot of things that I would have brought into the store. I might have brought some lines in that may not have done well, or might have spent a lot of money at market that I didn't need, or just, a ton of things that, don't you agree, Lori? It's just kind of...
Yeah, I look back at photographs of our shop, and I'm almost embarrassed to look at them now because my shelves were empty. And I remember Marsha just kept saying, just open the doors, it will come, it will come. And it did. I mean, slowly, I've added things over the years and, changed my shelving here and there, but you kind of...
You have to get a feel of who you're selling to and what it is that you truly, we honestly don't carry anything that we don't love ourselves.
I really came into this with no business background or experience other than selling Kool-Aid on my driveway, cookies to my neighbors, that sort of thing. I used to teach elementary school and just felt like that I wanted a little bit of a change in my path. And when I met Marsha, it was just a no-brainer.
Failure never occurred to me. It honestly never did. People ask me, weren't you afraid? Weren't you scared? And it truly, I believed in our product. I believed in our customer service. I believed in our scents. I believed in our candles. I believed there wasn't a reason to be afraid. There wasn't a reason to worry. And things have gotten tight in this economy, and the business has changed so much But if you're doing what you love, it doesn't matter. Some of the changes throughout the years that I've noticed is, the integrity of the wax that you're buying. You really need to know what you're buying and be on top of the quality. It's a constant struggle between, we've sent wax back that hasn't been up to our standards, and we definitely aren't mass produced. And I definitely, every time we pour a little candle, we want it perfect. We want it to burn right, we want it to smell right. Fragrance oils, we used to be able to buy them maybe 2 pounds at a time, and now we have to buy them 25 pounds at a time. So it's a much bigger commitment to make our Clean Undies candles because we've got 25 pounds of that fragrance.
When naming some of our candles, it's kind of fun because first of all, we may come up with a scent we really enjoy, and then we need to come up with a name for it. And other times we've got the perfect name, and then we're like, oh man, what scent are we gonna do? The name of the candle can be really important because we've had things that have failed. We'll name it something and it just totally bombs. People don't get it. They're not sure, maybe why we called it that, what the fragrance is, what the name has to do with it. And we change the name and bam, it's a bestseller.
Scents can conjure up such emotions. It can immediately take your mind where you weren't even. I was pouring a scent called White Mountain Sage. And as I was pouring it, my mind immediately went to my Aunt Oral's funeral. I was in the 6th grade. I was digging in my mom's purse for a piece of gum. And it smelled just like the bottom of my mom's purse. And so that's the name, the bottom of mom's purse. And what's funny is it doesn't matter what gender you are, what age you are, what background you have, everybody that smells that candle, every human being goes, smells like my mom's purse.
Yeah, I mean, there's times that maybe business is tight, but you plow through and just pour your heart and soul into the business, and we really enjoy what we do. We love making candles. There's not a day where I think, oh, I gotta make the candles. I mean, we really enjoy what we do.
You can buy a candle anywhere. You can buy a mass-produced candle, but we truly care about the people that are buying them from us.
A co-production of KCPT and Outpost Worldwide, at home in Kansas City. Production, post, content.